You must be a grown-up to watch this video. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am glad you're here. My name is Gavin. This is my channel. We like to cut through sensationalism, like to cut through just the fluff of true crime and get into the nitty-gritty of stories that are happening right now. If that is your thing, then you have found the right place, and I am glad you did. Hey, here on the channel, what we do is we do some talking with one another. If there's something that you want me to see, please be sure to put GF in your comment in the live stream. That helps me out. For the rewatch crew, you guys know what to do. You just comment down below, which is pretty rad. Okay. Oh man, I feel a little out of sorts today, but we are talking about a case that's new to the channel. This is not This is not breaking news. Okay, this has been happening, and I would say this is a parent's worst nightmare that has been happening to a family in Utah. The family of Olga and Nikolai Petrov. This is a screenshot I did of an interview that they've done on local TV out there in the Salt Lake City area. Their daughter, Alisa, is missing, and kind of has some similarities, it feels like anyway to me, with Aubrey Wu, though not the same kinds of struggles. To me, I don't know of any struggles that Alisa was having, though she was keeping a secret, as opposed to Aubrey Wu, and she was having all sorts of mental health challenges, and boy, am I glad was she found, and I'm hoping that she gets the help that she desperately needs. But 15-year-old Alisa Petrov was, she ran away from home on April 21st of 2025. This is a picture of Alisa. Her parents have done a terrific job of getting images out so that so that if we see her anywhere, and by the way, I should bring up this right here. If you see Alisa Petrov, please call the South Jordan Police at 801-840-4000. 801-840-4000. Okay, that's who to call. We're gonna go through some documents here. So there, and some websites. There's some other stuff that we can do as well. Let me actually just skip right to this, because her parents have created a website called findalisa.com, and we can. So here's the case number, SJ25-11568. That is the South Jordan Police case number. There's also a national case number, M as in Mike, 918-392-300. You can call 911. There is a number you can call anonymously. You can call Olga Petrov, 801-780-0885. They're offering a $20,000 reward, but you know and I know that it's not about the reward. It is about finding their young daughter, 15-year-old Alisa Petrov. A couple other pictures here so you can see her in different expressions. These are pictures of her. There are a couple of other cute pictures I want to show you guys, because we have to remember, at age 15, she's definitely juvenile. She's a young lady. But she is their daughter, their little baby girl. This is Olga and Nikolai with Alisa, and here's one with Olga and Alisa when she was a little girl. So guys, this is an important case. Let's get into the details, okay? I'm going to bring you over to CrimeTimelines.com. I have reached out to these folks, by the way. I hope to talk to them soon, because they're doing a terrific job. Okay, Alisa is 15 years old. She's 5'3", 122 pounds. She has long brown hair. It is almost to her waist. It's extremely long. She has brown eyes. She was last seen April 21st, 2025, when she was dropped off at school. And we're going to get into those details in a second. It is believed that she was headed to Las Vegas, Nevada. Last seen wearing baggy jeans, a gray Harvard University t-shirt, a black hoodie, and carrying a dark school backpack. And we're going to keep this up. Call the South Jordan Police if you have seen Alisa Petrov. Okay? All right. A couple things about the timeline before we get into some documents here. January 17th of this year, a man named Matthew Nicholas Menard. This is a picture of Mr. Menard. It was found on his Facebook page. That's the only picture that I've been able to find of him. He begins communicating with Alisa via Instagram. I'm keeping his image up, not to celebrate him, but to find him because he is nowhere to be found right now, okay? He was aware of Alisa's age at only 15 years old and continues communicating with her regardless of knowing her age. On February 3rd, 2025, a man named William Taylor Glines, 37 years old. Now, this man has been arrested, and I need to sneeze. Goodness sake. Oh, excuse me. Okay. This man, 37-year-old William Glines, has been arrested. This is his mugshot. But he began communicating with Alisa through social media. In one message, Glines double checks whether Alisa is 14 or 15, confirming that he knew that she was a minor. Okay? Now, well, we'll get into how they were communicating because, guys, there's something that we need to keep in mind here, okay, with all of our children. I have 3 grown children, but I have 2 juvenile children as well, right? We have to be aware of who they're communicating with and how they're doing so. I'm not blaming Olga and Nikolai. This is just for us to be able to learn, right? They were doing all the right things, but it turns out that Alisa had a long forgotten iPad that she had hidden that she was using to communicate with people on social media. Teenagers are wily, crafty little creatures, right? We all remember being a teenager, right? I mean, we have no real experience, no wisdom yet, because wisdom comes through that long experience. We're naive to the world, and it's a beautiful thing that we stay naive to the world. But we just need to understand that, she was doing some dangerous things, not knowing what she was doing. Okay, back to the website. On April 21st, Alisa is dropped off at school in American Fork, Utah. Let's go and do just a little bit of map time here real quick, okay? Since this is kind of where I'm from, what we're looking at here is the northeast corner of the state of Utah. Utah has that shape that kind of goes like this, right? That is this area right here, Wyoming up here. All right, so this whole area, this mountain ridge right here that travels north and south along here, and there's cities built along there, that is called the Wasatch Front. South Jordan is right here in the south part of the Salt Lake Valley. This little jetted out piece of the mountain, that's just referred to as the point of the mountain. And that separates the Salt Lake Valley up here with the Provo Valley down here. Okay, so she is in the south part of the Salt Lake Valley. She goes to school in the north part of the Provo Valley right here in American Fork. And this is going to become kind of important here. What we need to realize is this Interstate 15 that travels north to south. It starts clear up here, right? But it travels north to south along the Wasatch Front. And where does it go? It goes all the way down to Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay? So that Interstate 15 along the Wasatch Front is a corridor for high-speed travel. And I don't mean like airplanes and high-speed rail. I just mean if you want to get from northern Utah to southern Nevada, you just hop on I-15 and you can do so with relative ease and with relative speed. Okay, so we're starting off once again where this little dotted line is in South Jordan, and she goes to school in American Fork. That is where she is dropped off. Okay, instead of attending classes, she leaves the school premises and goes on to a convenience store where she bought some items before boarding a southbound train to Provo. Getting back over here, okay? This Wasatch Front has a train system that it's not like Amtrak. It's more like the subway in New York or the tube in London. It's overland. It's not underground. It's overland, but it's just public transport, and it starts all the way up in the Ogden area. Oh my goodness, there we are, and kind of in the Ogden area, and it travels all the way south to the Provo area here. So she hops on a train from American Fork. It's called the UTA, sometimes it's called Trax. So from American Fork, she hops on the train. It goes down to the end of the line in Provo. That evening, surveillance footage from the UTA captures Alisa exiting the train in Provo. Witnesses report seeing Alisa at the train platform in Provo where she asked strangers for help getting to Las Vegas, Nevada. Wow. Okay, the next day, Alisa's family reports her missing. The 23rd to the 28th, the South Jordan Police Department begins to investigate. They're collaborating with other agencies. I would imagine if they're dealing with Las Vegas, there might be federal agencies involved. Missing persons investigation is launched. They begin, collecting video footage, phone records, online activity. She's listed as a runaway, but due to her age and circumstances, she is considered endangered. On the 29th, the Department of Public Safety publishes an official missing person bulletin for Alisa, including her physical description and clothing. Again, let's take a nice close look at her. She was wearing a gray Harvard University t-shirt, black hoodie, baggy jeans, dark school backpack. She is believed to be attempting to meet individuals she met online using multiple social media platforms, like we said earlier. April 30th, Miami police make contact with Menard, who again, she had been communicating with. He admits to communicating with Alisa. He confirms ownership of the Instagram account used in the conversations. His phone is seized by Miami police and shipped to South Jordan PD. They apply for a warrant and search his phone. On May 1st through the 7th, investigators receive a cyber tip. Tips are so important, guys. Indicating that Alisa may have been in contact with the adult male from Texas. The tip is relayed through the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children to law enforcement agencies. Authorities suspect Alisa may have been lured or groomed online. This man, by the way, is William Glines. Just going to show you this real quick. He is currently in custody. His bond is $150,000. And he is currently housed in jail. He is charged down there with online solicitation of a minor and possession of CSAM. Greater than 50 depictions or videos. Okay? All right, let's get his face off here because this is the important one. Let's get one close up. Okay, here's Alisa. All right. Texas City Police joined the investigation on May 8th after receiving the cyber tip. On the 9th, the public alert is issued on social media in Texas City, Texas, asking for assistance locating Alisa Petrov. Now, real quick, let's get directions. I'm going to do this from South Jordan, Utah. I'm going to get directions down to Texas City, Texas. All right. bring you over here. So there we go. So rather than, well, not rather, we don't know where she is. That's the thing. But Texas is all the way down here. The scary thing, though, guys, the scary thing is that there are organizations that have teams of people that start interacting with minors online, luring them to different places. It might be a completely different member of the team, of the company or the cartel, whatever you want to call them, that actually meets the child. So these are organized, this is organized crime. That's what it is. Okay, so Texas is all the way over here, but she may still have gone down to Las Vegas via the I-15. Okay? All right. So let's see. On the 10th, they identified the men who had communicated with Alisa: Matthew Nicholas Menard, 35, of Florida; William Taylor Glines, 37, of Texas City, Texas. And on the 16th, she's still missing. Her family renews public pleas for information, stating that they've had no contact with her since April 21st. Guys, it's been 5 weeks. Law enforcement continues to follow digital leads, track known associates of the suspects. On the 20th, a week ago, the South Jordan Police Department announces criminal charges against both suspects. Of course, Glines is in custody. Menard is nowhere to be found. Investigators allege that both men communicated with Alisa via social media, sending adult photos, videos. Despite knowing she was underage, both suspects reportedly continued the inappropriate conversations. Prosecutors in Utah have requested that no bail arrest warrants be issued for both individuals, and they do so. That was unsealed on the 20th. So here is a little bit more information. Discovery of the iPad with initial leads. When detectives began investigating Alisa Petrov's disappearance, they conducted a search of her home with her parents' permission. During the search, officers found a hidden iPad inside Alisa's dresser. Upon reviewing its contents, police discovered Instagram messages between Alisa and someone named Matt, later identified as Menard. And then the messages detail plans for Alisa to run away and meet Menard in Las Vegas. Menard told Alisa he would be in Las Vegas for a business trip later in May. He instructed her to lay low until he arrived. They planned to fly together from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, spend a few days there, then travel to Miami, Florida, where Menard resides. After South Jordan police traced the Instagram account and contacted Menard, he admitted to having the conversations. On the 30th, they applied for the warrant to search his phone. The warrant does not indicate whether Menard was taken into custody at the time. Well, I don't believe that he is in custody. We're going to get into some of these documents, okay? Okay, investigations are ongoing with federal and local law enforcement I'm having a hard time today, guys. Collaborating across multiple jurisdictions. Despite the arrests, Alisa remains missing. Law enforcement agencies continue to follow up on multiple leads. And again, that reward of $20,000 has been offered for information leading to her safe return. But that's not the part that matters. The part that matters is her safe return. Okay, so I've got a couple of documents that I want to go over. Before we do, though, maybe now is a good time to just take a quick little break. Let's hide these and come on over to see your comments. Okay, we're gonna see what you are saying. Texas Surfer 65. No, I hit the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. There we go. Says, why do parents wait until the next day? Precious time is lost. I honestly think that is a matter of just human error. I just think it's a matter of human error. And if, I mean, they probably were busy looking for her, right? They were probably doing all the things that parents do to locate their children. I think that those of us in this true crime community, we need to be able to train ourselves, because we will make the same mistake too if we don't. Train ourselves to know time is of the essence. We make calls quickly. Thank you for that question. Good comment. Let's see if there are any others here. Space Kitten says, I was surprised this got little coverage. It came up on my YouTube shorts like a week ago. She's been missing a while. Yeah. Thanks for sharing this info on the case. Always enjoy your respectful point of view. Thank you. And I should say thank you. I need to open Slack. I've got an amazing team of researchers, and it was, I think it was Kelsey. Kelsey brought this case to my attention and did all the research to get me the documents, get me the photos, get me the everything. So kudos to my research team. If you are, want to volunteer to be a researcher, especially if you have talent for finding documents and doing, FOIAs and stuff like that, all you have to do is reach out to me here and just use this form. I'll get it, and then a member of my team will reach out to you, okay? But very, very glad that we are on this case. I should bring up Alisa's picture so that we can all see her. She looks like a gymnast to me. Does she look like a gymnast to you? Like, she looks strong. Like broad, strong shoulders. That's apropos of nothing, but the reason I bring it up is just that I think that this is a young lady who is, why am I blanking on the word? She has, she's disciplined. She looks like a young woman who's disciplined, who does well in school, who does well in her extracurriculars, who has friends, right? This is, could be, I'm supposed to not have that on. Could be any one of our children, right? Because these kinds of things don't just happen to other people's kids. We've got to be prepared that it could happen to us. And not only on the one side, I'm thinking, what can we learn here? But what can we do here to help bring her home? Let's see if we can get a little closer picture here, right? Just memorize her face, long hair, physically fit. Trying to think of anything that stands out. She's just a lovely young lady, with maybe a little light olive skin, long brown hair all the way down almost to her waist, physically fit. That's what we're looking for here. Okay, get back over. Oh, we're going to go over. No, we're going through your comments. Let me just scroll through here real quick, see if anything else came in. Schmoopy, muscles and posture. I thought gymnast too. Yeah, I first thought gymnast or dancer or something like that. She does look like she's disciplined. She looks like a gymnast. Yep. Oh, yeah. If not a gymnast, maybe a cheerleader. She has the build for it, right? She's just very strong. You can tell by the way she stands. See if anybody else brought that up. Yeah, Kelsey is a rock star. Grateful for you guys that help. Gia, first time you've caught a live stream. Well, I'm glad you have. It must be very late in London. Oh, my goodness. What is it, 1 a.m? Going to be in London here in about, week and a half? Yeah. Susan says, these people are so well organized. What chance does a teenager have? Very troubling. Yeah, I'm telling you, our children need to know. They need to know. Actually, I had a conversation with Elizabeth from Hillbilly Crime, and one of the things that I'm really grateful for in my life is my parents kept me pretty naive. That sounds like a negative. They kept me sheltered for a good long time. Let me be a child. They let me be a child, and I'm really grateful for that. And I think in today's world, it's probably pretty hard to be a child. And she's yearning for grown-upness and hiding an iPad in order to do it. It's just there. She just doesn't know. She just doesn't know. Okay, let's go back. Actually, this is where I'm going to go next. Okay, we're going to take a look at what South Jordan, Utah has said. So these are some releases they did on their Facebook page. Let me zoom up on them a little bit more. There we go. So this is from the 29th, basically saying, hey, 15-year-old Alisa Petrov walked away from her American Fork school. She purchased items at a local gas station. And you know what? Kelsey got me the picture. I just forgot to get it ready of her in a little gas station getting water, snacks, or whatever. She was later observed boarding a UTA train, exited at the Provo station. She reportedly asked multiple people to aid in her travel to Las Vegas, Nevada. She is believed to be attempting to meet individuals online. She's a runaway juvenile. Okay, on the 10th, members of the South Jordan Police Department received a cyber tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children regarding Alisa. The tip revealed the identity of an adult male living in Texas. Police have reason to believe the male may have communicated with Alisa prior to her leaving school. The department will be working closely with the Texas City Police Department on the outcome of their investigation. We'll continue all efforts to locate Alisa and follow any leads. Questions about the Texas investigation? I'm having a hard time. Investigation will be referred to their office. Okay, so then on the 20th, South Jordan Police Department has identified an adult male, Matthew Nicholas Menard. Miami, Florida, through the investigation, police have filed charges on Menard for all sorts of things. I will not say them aloud because this is YouTube. Further investigation has identified a second adult male, William Taylor Glines of Texas City, Texas. Through the investigation, police have filed charges on Glines, again for unhappiness. Both Menard and Glines communicated with Alisa Petrov prior to her leaving school on the 21st. They'll continue working with their partners. Okay, they're still looking. So those are the three things that South Jordan released. Now, there are a whole bunch of documents in the court, in Utah courts, in the district courts, 4th District, about the case. I chose this one to go over. This is the information. This is what we would not in Texas. I don't live in Texas. In Pennsylvania, this would be the original affidavit of probable cause criminal complaint. Okay, so this is what they do in Utah. So you can see the counts 1, 2, and this one is against Mr. Glines, but it's about the same with Mr. Menard. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Enticement is the one for me. All the other ones too, but he was trying to get her out. Enticement, criminal solicitation. So he was trying to essay her. Is what he was trying to do. He's trying to get her out there to essay her. 1, 2, 3 counts of that. Okay, here's the statement of probable cause. In April 2025, a child whose identity is known to law enforcement hereinafter, child victim 1, went missing. Of course, we are talking about Alisa Petrov here. Okay? Law enforcement, I need water. Goodness. Law enforcement began an investigation into her whereabouts. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children located a social media account for CV1. Oh, that's interesting that they found that, which showed CV1 had been communicating with defendant, Mr. Glines, via the social media internet application. Defendant verified at different points throughout his conversation with CV1 that he was aware that she was a minor. At one point, the defendant asked her, "Okay, you're 14, about to be 15, yes? I'm just double checking," to which she responded, "Yeah." Another time, she tells the defendant, "My birthday in 8 minutes," to which defendant responded, "Well, how about we start your 15th year of life exactly how girls like you deserve to? What do you say?" Wow. That infuriates me. Wow. Additionally, defendant acknowledged that speaking with her was wrong and stated, "I'm just saying if the average person knew I was talking to you, they'd want to cut my..." Okay? During the entirety of the defendant's conversations with Alisa, the conversations are largely sexual, sadomasochistic in nature. Defendant told her, "I'm going to till your legs give out." You guys can see all that. In their conversations, defendant instructed her to take photos and videos of herself and to send them to the defendant. You guys can see that. In one instance, I'm not going to read that out loud. Okay, and there are multiple instances. Okay. CV1 did send the defendant a picture from her upper thighs to below her bust, wearing only pink underwear. He says some horrible things. Yes. Yep. All that. At times throughout their chats, CV1 expresses feeling extremely uncomfortable and anxious, sending pictures and photos of herself to the point that it made her want to do some harming things to herself. The defendant threatened to punish her if she did not comply. In one instance, she refuses to send a picture of what the defendant had requested and asked for the punishment instead. Defendant then directed her to find anything long and wooden like a ruler or piece of wood. To beat herself with. Okay, the state requests that the court issue a warrant of arrest because there is substantial danger of a breach of the peace, injury to persons and property, or danger to the community. And a warrant is necessary to prevent risk of injury to a person or property, secure the appearance of the accused, and promote the public safety and welfare of the community and individual. The state respectfully requests the court issue a no bail arrest warrant pursuant to Utah Code because the defendant is an individual charged with or arrested for a criminal offense that is a felony, and there is substantial evidence to support the charge, and the defendant would constitute a substantial danger to any other individual or to the community, considering available conditions of release that the court may impose if the defendant is released on bail. And the defendant is likely to flee the jurisdiction of the court if the defendant is released on bail. The state bases this assertion upon the following facts and arguments. And, defendant has 10 counts. The victim is less than 18 years old. Defendant, over the course of several months, corresponded with the victim for the purpose of soliciting sex and CSAM, sodomy. Defendant discussed in graphic detail his intent to SA the child. There's just so much here, guys. She was directed to engage in harmful behavior such as beating or cutting herself. Defendant encouraged and engaged with CV1 from his home state of Texas, where all his substantial ties to the community and resources are. The defendant has no connection to Utah. The defendant has a substantial criminal history in Texas, starting in 2014 with a DWI. Defendant also has a 2015 conviction for misdemeanor theft and a 2016 conviction for criminal trespass. He has assault convictions. He has downloading, collecting, and viewing of CSAM. Yeah, this is a scary dude. Which guy is this? Is this Menard? I can't remember at this point. It's both of them. This guy and this guy. They both have the same thing. Research shows that internet offenders who view CSAM are significantly more likely to SA children in real life. Multiple peer-reviewed studies have shown that the comorbidity of viewing CSAM and contact sexual criminality is significant, with some studies showing that 50, 62, 85, or 98% of people who view CSAM have or eventually do commit contact offenses against children. And they don't want GPS monitoring, and then that is the end of that document. So this is a young lady who is in deep, deep danger, guys. I've got the wrong thing up. Deep danger. Okay? So, and she could be anywhere. She could be in Las Vegas. She could be in LA. Could be in Texas or Florida and anywhere in between. So please memorize this face. Let's see if there's a closer one. Please memorize this face, right? She's, again, 5'3", 120 pounds. Long brown hair. Kind of light olive complected skin, brown eyes, strong looking body, broad shoulders, but still 5'3". Okay, so let me go back over to this one. Let me make sure that I've got everything there. Missing person description. 15 years old, 5'3", 122 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Last seen April 21st in American Fork, Utah, possibly on her way to Las Vegas. If you have any information, please contact the South Jordan Police Department at 801-840-4000. If you can't memorize the case number, guys, all you have to do is say her name. Alisa Petrov. They know who they're talking about. South Jordan is not a terribly large place. They will definitely know. If you know either of the defendants in this case, either Mr. Glines or Mr. Menard, and you know any of their associates, please contact police and give them as many leads as you possibly can. Okay? And then beyond that, let's see if we can work hard to teach our children just how dangerous it can be while still letting them remain children. I don't have the answer to this one. I don't have the answer to it. But we do have to protect our children. Just so you guys know, I have reached out to her parents, offering to let them speak on the channel the same way we did with Jade and John, Aubrey Wu's parents. The same we will do with anybody. Actually, with Lily and Jack, with their parents. Would be happy to have them on and tell their story. But we will also respect their decision to do so or not. That's perfectly fine, right? They are dealing with the loss of their, not like permanent loss, just their daughter's lost, and they're dealing with that. And so we are going to be respectful of that. I just wanted you guys to know that I did reach out and invited them to come on. Because in the case of Aubrey Wu, I wouldn't say, I'm not taking credit. I would say that the internet, thanks to John and Jade's hard work, the internet was activated. So by talking about it and getting out there and getting her face out there, I do believe that contributed to her being found. And I want to offer the same thing to Alisa's parents. Let's bring her up here again. Not sure what she's holding there. Is she working in it? She's working in, oh, they're Krispy Kreme donuts. It's a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. Ah, to be a child and to be able to eat Krispy Kreme donuts and not look like me. Anyway, okay, so let's go over to your comments here, guys. Going to bring those back up here. See what you are saying. Okay. I'm going to scroll up. Oh, this is a great question. Gail, how do they get a child to do all they want? We just scanned through very quickly because it's not appropriate to read the whole thing. However, you know what I will do? As soon as we're done here, I'm going to upload all the documents that I have to Patreon for my patron members. And if you want to support me on Patreon, I invite you to do that. But the reason that we do these videos and go over those documents is so that you can see them without having to pay anything. But I will upload them for my patrons. The question, how do they get a child to do what they want? They are skilled predators with almost mystical, coercively controlled powers. It's a combination of that and the fact that their victims are children. That's what it is. And it's scary. Do you guys remember as we've been going over the Madeline Soto case? By the way, I keep looking for any updates on the Madeline Soto case. There haven't been any in the last several days. Adjacent to the Madeline Soto case, her music teacher, through Roblox, got a little boy to do terrible things. It's not like the little boy was to blame at all. It was the teacher that was to blame, right? So yeah, they're just controlling, and they're good at it. They're practiced at it. It's a skill that they have developed over the years. It's the same kind of skill as like the call centers from overseas that scam elderly people out of millions of dollars, right, every year. They're just skilled at this. They're practiced at this skill. That's how. Susan Lewis says, this is just wow. And it is. And it is completely gross, completely wrong, and just heartbreaking. And that is why I titled this YouTube video, I used the word monster, right? She vanished after talking to monsters online. These people are monsters. Let me keep scrolling here. Kel says, Gavin very likely trafficked already. Yeah. What my hope is, my hope here is that she didn't quite make it. I'm hoping she didn't make it, and that she's hiding out somewhere, trying to act like a grown-up. That's what I hope. But if she did make it to Las Vegas, guys, keep your eyes open, will you? Like, honestly, keep your eyes open for this. And this is horrible, but having been on way too many business trips every year to Las Vegas, my goodness, can they please change trade show locations outside of Las Vegas, please? Anyway, everything having to do with sex work in Las Vegas is gross, and I am convinced that there are underage girls being trafficked there. And I mean, there are cards, there are advertisements, they're everywhere. If you see this face, and I just don't even want to think about this. But if you see this face, reach out to police. Take the card from the person trying to sell it to you. Call police. It's heartbreaking. What? Medi, you know them? Medi, reach out to me, will you? Yeah, you've been talking on my channel for a long, long time. I recognize you. Reach out. Just go to gavinfish.com and click on this little button right here and shoot me the information. But before you do that, I should say, let me get her face back up here. Before you do that, contact police. Try to connect any dots that you possibly can. Because if one is in Texas and one is Miami, how do you know them? You don't have to say now. I'm just saying. But reach out, okay? I'd love to talk to you. So, Wicked Girl, hey, I love this comment. I love this comment. But let me give you a devil's advocate position here, okay? Just for the sake of the mental exercise, okay? Men broadly do leave children alone. Most of us feel like a fatherly instinct to protect children. That's what most of us feel. The vast majority. What we need to teach is we need predators to leave children alone. That's what it's not it's mostly men who do this. Yes. But it is way on the extreme. And it is a very small set of men, those predators. And for me, I think that I don't know if this would even help, but I wish that the repercussions of being found to be somebody like Mr. Glines and Mr. Menard would be so harsh and so severe that people would say, I'm not going to do that. That's what I wish. Most men are protective of children. It's in our instinct, unless we're predators. Our instinct is to protect. Yeah. And Robin, you are correct. I would like to talk to Medi. And Mooney is correct. I would like to talk to Medi. Patty says, this is so sad. My heart breaks for her and her parents. I hope she is found soon. Don't forget, guys, to, if you know anything, let's see, contact. What? Oh my goodness, I'm having such a hard time today with my buttons. South Jordan Police at 801-840-4000. Okay. I hope her parents come on. Loved it when Aubrey's parents were here. I hope they do too, but I also respect their decision, whatever they want to do. Whatever they want to do. It just refreshed on me. Denise says, I hope we can hear from her parents. Spread the word more. She's been missing way too long. Can't believe it took the authorities so long to send this message out. I have to say, I didn't say it out loud, but I had very little hope for Aubrey Wu, and she was found. I almost said we found her. We didn't find her. She was found. Yeah. Glitter is forever. Recognize that box. That's funny. I recommend the channel Sosa. They do important work with law enforcement to trap and catch these monsters. They detail how easily this can happen in their vids. Yes. So in my neck of the woods in Western Pennsylvania, there is a group called 814 Pred Hunters. And they started out as a group that they just wanted to embarrass people. So they would pose. I mean, that was ultimately what they did. They wanted justice, but ultimately what they did was just embarrass people. And then law enforcement couldn't get convictions because of their methodology. But they figured it out real fast. And they're getting arrests and convictions out here in Western Pennsylvania. So any one of those groups that is working with law enforcement, I am all for. if they're working outside of law enforcement, I cannot support it. So I will check out SOSA. Cindy Lou Hoot says, I think we need to reconsider giving children smartphones or access to online social media. I agree, it's a dangerous place. Remember, though, in this case, she wasn't given that access. She took that access and hid it from her parents. By the way, again, looking at these, we have to remember this little family, right? And these are the only pictures I could find of the family. But these are hurting parents. We need to support them as much as we can. Medi, please reach out, man. Let's see. All right, reach out. Thanks, Betty. Awesome. They know each other, she says, both of them. All right. Well, I look forward to hearing from you, and I will respond very quickly. I've heard stories where these men will give a child a phone. The parents are oblivious to it. Elizabeth, I believe there are way more men walking around that are predators than everyone thinks. Over my adulthood, I've had 7 friends that were this type of victims as children. There are a lot, for sure. 100%. And Autumn knows 814 Pred Hunters. They're doing God's work. Okay, so let's leave it there. Before we go, though, let's just one more time look at our victim. Bring up her or the number 801-840-4000. She's been missing since April 21st. 5'3", 122 pounds. Kind of a beautiful olive complexion, brown hair, all the way down to her waist almost. Brown eyes, strong build, broad shoulders, a strong-looking young woman. This is the person we need to be on the lookout for. And as I find out more, I will bring it to you guys. And if her parents decide to come on, which is completely their choice, no pressure, no guilt, if they decide to come on, we will gladly have them for as long as they want to be on. I really want to give them that opportunity. Okay? So keep your eyes open, eyes peeled. Medi, let's talk. Let's see if we can find something out that we can give to police, and then we'll go from there. So, guys, that is wrong button. Man, I am just having a hard time tonight, guys. Having a hard time all the way around, getting rid of all the buttons. Let's check in on the sub count. Let's take a look at this. 126, almost 127,000 people in our little community. Speaking of community. If you are on my website, if you click this little fishy right here, that will take you to the fish tank where we are. Just refresh. What I'll do is I will click the fish tank. It'll take me right there. And this is where we hang out on YouTube. We're about 4,500 members in here. If you are on, I said YouTube, on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, this is your kind of thing. I invite you to join me. Over the next, starting on June 5th, my beloved and I are going to be traveling to the UK for CrimeCon UK. If you're in London on, what is that, the 7th and 8th, I want to say. Let's take a look. crimecon.co.uk. 7th and 8th. If you are in London and want to come to CrimeCon UK, I am joining with Joseph Scott Morgan, and we're going to be talking about Ellen Greenberg. So please join me for that if you're going to be over there. And then after that, we're gonna head to the continent and spend a little time just us, which is going to be delightful. Hide that. So I will be gone for over a week. Now, I've prepared some stuff for you guys to watch and do in my absence, but I will be gone. So just want to put that on your radar, all right? Thank you for joining me tonight. We will be back tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We do shows 5 days a week, typically. So we'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully you will be with us. And until then, I bid you adieu. Thank you so much. Good night. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.